Here are my top 5 players that have Pro Bowl potential for the Detroit Lions in 2019. So later tonight after this video, you guys should get another Madden Takeover video. You guys killed that video, so I just wanted to give you an announcement that will be coming out again today because a lot of you guys really like that, so make sure you guys tune in for that. But in this video, we are going to be taking a look at my top 5 players on the Detroit Lions that could be in the Pro Bowl for 2019. Now, coming in at number 5 is a guy that you may completely disagree with. Now, I had other options that I could put here, but I thought it'd be very fun to put a rookie on here, and I'm putting Hockenson. So this is really Matthew Stafford's best tight end that he will ever have by far. This guy can catch and he can block. He's not what Eric Ebron was because this guy has short hands. And the Detroit Lions are really going to use the tight ends a lot more than they have in the past with Darrell Bevell. So with that being said, I can see Hockenson having a huge role in 2019. Now this could also be Jesse James because, you know, he's been in the league, he's been getting better. He could have his breakout season in 2019, but I decided to put the rookie on here, Hockenson. As the 8th pick in the draft for the Detroit Lions, he's going to have a huge role, and it would be really awesome to see a rookie get onto the Pro Bowl team for the Detroit Lions. And this guy has a lot of upside. I expect great things from Hockenson, and even if it doesn't happen, I still expect a really good season out of TJ. I'm putting Hockenson here at number 5, very low on the list, but I think it would be really awesome to see a rookie. Now, coming in at number 4, I have Trey Flowers, the new defensive lineman for the Detroit Lions. Coming from New England, we brought in Trey Flowers, and this guy was a stud at New England. He's familiar with Matt Patricia. The Detroit Lions decided to bring him in over here and get more star power because defensively we have a lot of talented players, but we need like a superstar, and that's what Trey Flowers is supposed to be. He's on a huge contract with the Detroit Lions, and now he's expected to have a huge role and really help out this defensive line. Well, with so much talent around Trey Flowers, I expect a lot of pressure to be taken off of Trey Flowers. Now, it could be the complete opposite, where they have to focus on Trey Flowers and other guys have big years. But if he gets some pressure taken off of him by guys like Snacks Harrison, who are clogging up the middle, guys like Romeo Okwara, players like that, then Trey Flowers could have his best season of his career. Trey Flowers has had solid seasons statistically, but he could blow up now in 2019 with double-digit sacks. I could definitely see that happening. And I think if that did happen and the Detroit Lions had some success defensively and they were one of the best defenses in the league, they would definitely have to recognize the best players for the Detroit Lions defensively, and Trey Flowers would be one of those guys with double-digit sacks. So Trey Flowers comes in at number 4. Next up at number 3, I have our quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Now, Matthew Stafford really hasn't been on a lot of our lists, so this is a good time to finally get him in one of our lists. Now, last season, people want to say it was a down year for Matthew Stafford. 3,700 passing yards, didn't reach the 4,000-yard mark. We were 6-10. It was bad overall. But I think this is a potential season where Matthew Stafford isn't going to have huge numbers, but I think he definitely could get recognition as a Pro Bowl type of player. Why? Well, because if his team is really good and they play well together, then the argument could be made that, okay, finally, Matthew Stafford has help. He has a team around him. They win games. Matthew Stafford deserves to be a Pro Bowl type of quarterback. And as we know, we lose a lot of quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl due to like big playoff games and stuff like that. So hopefully we're in the Super Bowl and these guys don't actually show up to the Pro Bowl, but he could still be selected there if his team succeeds in 2019. It would be the first time in a long time the Detroit Lions really had a good season if they won like a playoff game, say. So I think it'd be really hard to keep Matthew Stafford out of the Pro Bowl discussion, and I think he will have a way better season next year with guys like Hockenson, giving him weapons, giving him a running game. I expect Matthew Stafford to have a really consistent good season. Now, I don't think he's going to have huge passing yards. He may hit that 4,000-yard mark, but not much over it for Matthew Stafford. So Matthew Stafford comes in at number 3. Hopefully he can get back to his Pro Bowl level because, as we know, he's been there before. Coming in at number 2, we have Kenny Golladay. And Kenny Golladay is our wide receiver that hit 1,000 receiving yards last season. Congratulations, Kenny Golladay. Probably our number 1 wide receiver right now, Marvin Jones Jr. being the number 2. But this guy just took off last season. He took on a huge role with so many injuries offensively. He really had to step up and be the go-to guy for Matthew Stafford, and he did not disappoint. Being a young wide receiver, he was definitely the go-to guy, and this guy showed a crazy heart. Seemed to care so much about the Detroit Lions last season. It was amazing. I can just remember my favorite play last season by Kenny Golladay is not some catch, but it was when Matthew Stafford threw an interception and Kenny Golladay hit the man so hard, hit the defensive back so hard, he fumbled and the Detroit Lions actually recovered. I believe that was versus the Jets. That was like my favorite play that Kenny Golladay had all season. And with that being said, Kenny Golladay hitting 1,000 receiving yards last season, he could have an even bigger season here in 2019 with the run game, making the Detroit Lions two-dimensional where they can actually do 2 things instead of just 1. That takes a lot of pressure off and it makes the defense have to respect the running game. And with that being said, it will leave mismatches for guys like Kenny Golladay on the outside. One-on-one, he's going to take advantage of that every single time. With that being said, Kenny Golladay can get a lot of matchups that are favorable, and you could have a big year in 2019. And again, if the Detroit Lions have some success offensively or as a team, he will definitely be recognized being such a young wide receiver and on the come up. Kenny Golladay comes in at number 2. And finally, at number 1, a guy that you may have expected, and that is Kerryon Johnson. After last season averaging 5.4 yards per carry, having over 600 rushing yards in only 9 games, I expect Kerryon Johnson to be easily our number 1 running back. But he could have a huge season in 2019. The Detroit Lions kept him out to make sure that he wasn't getting re-injured. He said he could have played if it was a playoff game, but obviously the Detroit Lions weren't in any kind of position to be in the playoffs last season. With that being said, if he's healthy next season and he has some big yards, which I expect him to under Darrell Bevel, to get a lot of attempts. Now, we have other running backs that are definitely going to take some pressure off, but I still expect him to hit at least 1,000 yards if he's healthy. I definitely think he can do that. And again, going back to the success, if the Detroit Lions show some success, and a lot of it comes from the running game, Kerryon Johnson could easily be in the Pro Bowl running. After a great last season, seeing what he could do this season, and if the Detroit Lions share success with a lot of that putting on Kerryon Johnson having a great season, and he does, hitting a 1,000 yard mark, which most running backs don't ever do in Detroit, that would be amazing. And I think Kerryon Johnson would definitely get a nod from the Pro Bowl voters. So those are my 5 guys that could potentially be in the Pro Bowl for the Detroit Lions 2019. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. Also, stay tuned for the Madden 19 Takeover Episode 2 coming out very soon. We play versus the Jets. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, DoseOfDion 2.0. Follow me on Instagram and click the link in the description and get yourself a shirt because we got 3 of them over there. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.